Hello everyone, my name is ZCRGator and welcome back to Tier List Tuesday. Today's tier list is a spooky one, and that's because today is October the 1st, the start of spooky month. And what better way to celebrate October, the spooky month, than by ranking some spooky images I found in this tier list that I will link below down in the description. But before we get into today's tier list, if you end up enjoying today's video, please feel free to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, it really helps your boy out. We are on the road to 300 subscribers. And comment down below which image is the spookiest to you and why. I would absolutely love to know down below in the comments. With that being said, let's run down the tiers super quickly. Our S tier, the 2 spooky tier, these are the absolute spookiest images we have found on this tier list. The A tier, the spooky images are not quite too spooky, but they're pretty spooky. And then we have the B tier, the kind of spooky. I mean, they're a little frightening, but not like anything too seriously. Obviously, we have the C tier, mid tier, they're pretty mid images. And then, of course, our D/F tier, the not spooky tier list. These images, nothing spooky about them. With that being said, let's just get right on into it. We are kicking things off with what? Is this a haunted pool? It's like a pool? What am I even looking at? Honestly, I'm not really, I think this is pretty mid. I think this is pretty mid start. I'm not really spooked out by any of this. What is this, a pool that hasn't been kept up with? You just haven't been adding chlorine into the pool. You're not filtering it out. I don't know, that seems a little, seems like you're mishandling your pool. And honestly, yeah, that is a little spooky. The fact that there's somebody out there mishandling a pool like this, not cool, not cool. They're mishandling the YMCA pool. Not a cool sight, not a cool thing to do. But you know what? Not all that creepy, not all that spooky, mid. Up next we got, I believe, oh my goodness. Is that Herobrine out in the distance? Because all I'm seeing is a chicken. And if it's a chicken, oh, you know what? Ready? Watch this, watch this. We're going to hit the zoom. We're going to hit the massive zoom in. Oh, I see it. I don't know if you can see my little cursor, but I see Herobrine just chilling there. That's pretty spooky. You know what? That might be a little too spooky for me. I think we got to put that in the too spooky tier. That's a little too spooky for me, man. I'm just saying, if Herobrine's pulling up on me while I'm just trying to say hi to my chicken friend, I got to turn the other way. I got to run away. We got to get the heck out of there. Herobrine is too dangerous not to be messed with. We got to get the heck out of there. Up next, what do we got? This absolute Lovecraftian horror just standing on a road. He's just looking all. Honestly, would this be spooky if I'm driving in the middle of the night and this thing just pops up in the middle of the road? Is that too spooky? Because to be honest, I don't think that's too spooky. I think it's kind of spooky, but maybe he's friendly. Like, that could be a friend. I'm just saying, that could be like a dude named Jimbo, and Jimbo could just be a massive friend. And I like the massive friend. You know what? I'm not too spooked out by this guy. But this dude right here, this image, ooh, I think it's kind of spooky too. The fact that he's on all fours makes it a little spookier. He's got a really big head and a weird looking long neck. Honestly, he kind of reminds me of E.T., but massive. And I don't know if I'm really all that creeped out by E.T. You know what? You're going down to the mid tier. I'm not too spooked out by this one. Now, this image, we're looking at, ooh, what is this? Ooh, you're looking, I can't tell if this is like, if we're looking like at Everglades, like brush, or if this is just like somewhere up in the Appalachian Mountains, and you're looking through the brush, the forest, but you see the creepy hand, you see the creepy face. Ooh, you know what? I think that's kind of spooky. You know what? I'm not like super spooked out, but like, it's a little spooky. I'm just saying. By the way, my commentary on every single image that we're going to see, it's pretty much just going to be me saying, oh man, that's kind of creepy. That's kind of spooky. That's about it. I don't really have much else to say about it. But let's continue on. Up next, we're looking at a campground. Ooh, I'm not sure if I'm quite seeing what I'm supposed to be seeing, because I'm just seeing a tent. Let's hit the infrared zoom in. Oh, look at this dude. Look at this dude just sitting up here. He's smiling. He said, oh, wow, this is a well-pitched tent. And they got a hammock. Man, that's pretty crazy. To be honest, I'm not all that spooked by this. I'm not all that spooked. Not really all that spooky. I think this man is just admiring the craftsmanship that it takes to pitch a good tent. So you know what? Not all that spooky. Up next, we got what I believe is the Wendigo. I believe I've seen this image plenty of times. Not all that. I mean, this one's kind of spooky. Like, of course it's there. I mean, it's kind of spooky, but it's not like super spooky. So, B tier, B tier, B tier. Now, this dude, I don't know if I trust him. This guy is actually pretty spooky. This looks like the creeper. He's not even the creeper from. It looks like he's from. What's the game? What's the game? What's the game? Oh, I can't remember what it's called. What are they? It was a company that makes it like Red Barrels. Is that what they're called? Outlast. Booyah. He looks like the Walker dude from Outlast. And honestly, that guy kind of, that guy scares me a little bit. So you know what? Spooky tier. Spooky tier. That belongs in a spooky tier. Up next. There's nothing spooky about this one. This is just my boy Otto. Come on, man. There's nothing scary about Otto. I don't know why he's even on this list to begin with. What's scary about Otto? That is one of the best friends you could ever have. That man can travel at the speed of light across continents, across oceans, on just a little tricycle. Nothing to be scared about. That's just my boy Otto. He's just being chilling. And you just gotta allow him to being chilling. Being chilling. Just let him be. Just leave him be. Otto chilling. You don't have to mess with Otto. Just let him do his thing. Not spooky. Up next, we got the Haunted Woods. There isn't really a monster here, but it's really dark. There's a lot of trees around, and to be honest, to me, this is pretty spooky. I'd be pretty spooked out if I were just in the middle of the woods alone in the dark and it looked like this. Yeah, I'm gonna be spooked out by that. I'm gonna be pretty spooked out by that. Up next, we have what I believe. Oh my god, we're looking at two dogs. Honestly, these just look like either a wolf that kind of looks like like a golden retriever of some sort. But with that being said, the way how I am seeing this, also I didn't mean to hit that button. The way I'm seeing this reminds me of Mountain Monsters. And Mountain Monsters, they definitely found the Devil Dog, which they absolutely just got like a golden retriever or something, and acted as if it was the Devil Dog. This is what this image reminds me of. I'm not all that spooked by this. I'm not really spooked out by this. But this thing right here, this looks like what is this, a corn maze? Yeah, it looks like a corn maze of some sort. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at a corn maze. That's kind of spooky. You know what? Late at night, you're all alone in the middle of a corn maze. Yeah, I'd be pretty spooked out. Honestly, I would be pretty spooked out by that. That feels unsettling. And then this right here, you're going into the depths of this area, down the stairs, creepy, dark. This looks like potentially, well, maybe you're exploring like a haunted jail. Yeah, it feels a little spooky. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty spooked out by this. I'm feeling pretty spooked out by this. Now this guy, I don't even know what I'm looking at, to be honest. I mean, okay, so he's got the crazy hands. He's got the crazy looking face. I think this might be, is this a person or is that a statue? We got a little rocking chair. What are we out in the bayou of Louisiana? Little Resident Evil 7 up in here. I don't know. You gotta do better. You gotta do better, man. I think you could do better than that. To be honest, you're kind of a mid spooky. And then same with all three of these. Honestly, I don't find these spooky at all. Okay, this dude is kind of spooky. Okay, you know what? If I saw this guy, I'd be a little spooked out. But this dude and this dude, nothing. They evoke no emotion. Same with this guy. This just looks like one of the animatronics you see at the Jurassic Park ride at Universal. Jurassic World ride at Universal. I'm not spooked by this guy one bit. I ain't gonna find no dinosaur. I'm not, first of all, I'm not really out in body of waters like that. But second of all, if I was, this is not what I'm gonna find. So you know what? Not all that spooky. Not all that spooky. Now this right here is pretty sick looking. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really find this all that spooky. I'll put it in mid because there's a little spookiness to it. But I mean, look at this. You got the radio tower. You got the cable lines, and the red ambiance with the black. That's just a cool image. Honestly, that's a hard image and I like it because of that. So therefore, I'm not really all that spooked by it. So I'm just gonna put it. I think mid is a good spot for that. Up next, we got the spooky toilet. Ooh, nothing spooky about this toilet, honestly. You might be taking a spooky dookie, and you know what? Actually, because you could be taking a spooky dookie, I think it has to go into kinda spooky. So it actually, depending on how bad of a dookie that is, it could be too spooky. So you know what? Too spooky. That dookie could be too spooky. So we gotta put it all the way up in too spooky. Up next, we got this is just my man. This is my man's Gerald. There's nothing spooky about Gerald. He's a friendly guy. I need y'all to trust me on this. This dude Gerald, super good at basketball. I'm telling you, this man is on the level, well, maybe not on LeBron's level, because I don't think anyone is on LeBron's level, but he's getting close. He's getting pretty close. The NBA just didn't want him in the league because the NBA isn't cool. They thought he was too tall, and they thought the advantage would be too unfair, and that's why they banned him from the NBA. And that's honestly on them. That's on them for not including Gerald, because I think Gerald would be an absolute stud in the NBA, and I think he would make them so much money because you can market Gerald as the next star, and I think he would be the next star. Who needs Wembenyama when you got my man Gerald? Look at that! Look at that! Look at how tall he is standing next to that street light, dude. He would dominate in the NBA. I'm telling you, he's got this. You know who doesn't got this? This thing. What this thing is, I don't know. But if I pulled up in, if I'm in my car, I'm pulling up, and I see this long neck looking creature just swinging on in, maybe I'd be like a little spooked out. You know what? Maybe I'm a little spooked out by that. So you know what? There you go. Now this one right here, honestly, if you didn't have the spaghetti demon, I probably would find it creepier. But I just see this man dangling his arms down there, and I'm not really all that spooked out by that. I think that's funny. And to be honest, that's just my guy, Cousin Jim. There's nothing spooky about Cousin Jim. Cousin Jim's just a little dude, and he's just trying to enjoy his life by being a spaghetti demon. So let him be a spaghetti demon. There's nothing too scary about that. Now this right here, this is a little unsettling. I'm telling you what, my man Carter, just sitting here in the cave like that, Carter Cave, you gotta watch out for Carter Cave. Carter Cave, he's a spooky lad. If you get into his cave, you get too far into his cave, he'll really mess you up. And I'm telling you, Carter Cave, he's not gonna do it in the way you think. Because you'd think a monster like Carter Cave he'd just go out, he'd be out for blood, he'd be out to get you. But that's not what he's gonna do. Because you know what he's gonna do instead? He's gonna sell you car insurance. And he's gonna sell you car insurance at a really bad rate. So don't trust Carter Cave because of that. Carter Cave, too spooky. He's too spooky for me. Carter's doing some spooky things up in that cave. And don't ask him about the parties he's getting up to. We don't want to know, Carter. We really don't want to know. That man needs to be exposed for his sins. Up next. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, this guy right here. We're talking about my man's Dan. Look at him. He's kind of letting it hang loose a little bit. He forgot to bring the skin to the party. If you know what I mean, he forgot to bring the skin. Honestly, because Dan is letting it all loose like this, that's kind of spooky, man. Dan, you gotta wear a shirt, Dan. Dan, you can't just be going out like in public like that. Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan. You know you can't be doing that, Dan. Now, this dude right here, he is pretty disproportionate in his size. It's just honestly, I would be pretty spooked out. I'd be pretty spooked out if this creature pulled up on me while I'm driving on this wooded road, and this crazy looking stick-legged creatures out here be like, hey, what's going on? I'd be kind of spooked out. Not gonna lie. I'm not even kind of spooked out. I'd be pretty spooked out. But not too spooky. This isn't spooky enough for me. It's not like Herobrine. Herobrine's really spooky. Or the Spooky Dookie. Or Carter Cave. But this dude, I don't know. I'm not feeling it from this guy. But the next guy, absolutely nothing spooky about him. Because you know what he's trying to do? He's just trying to get to the fridge, man. Let this man get to the fridge. This is my guy, Bach. And my man's Bach, he's got a big spoon. and he's pulling up and he's saying, "Hey dog, can I get some ice cream?" And I'm sitting here like, "Oh, only a spoonful." And then he pulls out the comically large spoon, and I go, "Whoa! How did you do that, Buck?" He got me with that one because he gets all the ice cream because of his comically large spoon. So you know what? That's kind of spooky if you think about it. That's kind of spooky. The fact that he's just carrying around a comically large spoon like that. Ooh, that's kind of spooky. He took all the ice cream. He took all the ice cream. That's unfortunate for me. That's honestly, that one is on me. So, you know what's not on me though? This thing right here, honestly, this is just the Jonkler. I don't know if you're seeing this dude, but to me, this just looks like the Joker's mouth. And that's kind of it. That's kind of it, but that's spooky enough. Honestly, that's spooky enough. The Jonkler, he's a pretty spooky guy. He pulls up to you and he starts beatboxing. He goes, "Why so serious?" And he hits that crazy beatbox, and you're just like, yeah, I'm pretty spooked out by this one, honestly. This is a little too much for me, and I don't think I can handle the spookiness. So you know what? Too spooky. Too spooky of a lad. He is too spooky of a lad. We don't want to mess with this guy right here. He's just too much to handle. You wanna know who else is too much to handle? Legman. Look at Legman. Look at Leg. It's just legs and a torso. That to me, if you're just walking on the street, you're walking on the street, right? And then you see torso Legman, leg and a torso man, and you're just like, dang, that's kind of crazy. But think about this. What if leg and a torso man has like really nice legs? I'm just saying, would you be spooked out by that? Or what if they're creepy legs? Because if they're creepy legs, that's too spooky for me. What if they just got some really nice legs? Him, her, they, them. What if they just got really nice legs? They could. What if the proportions on the torso is perfect? I'm just saying, I'm not getting too into this, because honestly, I'm not really seeing the proportions in this picture, but like, it's just a picture. It might be better in real life if you see it in real life. So you know what? It depends. It really depends, because what I'm rating this off of the picture that I'm seeing. So I gotta say, kind of mid. I'm not feeling the proportions on leg torso man, or leg torso woman, or leg torso thing. So you know what? Pretty mid. Well, that being said, I think that wraps up all of the images that we have in the spooky images tier list. If you ended up enjoying today's video, please feel free to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps your boy out, and comment down below which is the creepiest image and the least creepiest image, and let me know, would you take a spooky dookie at that toilet? I don't think I could, because if the dookie is too spooky, then it's too much for me to handle. But with that being said, I hope you all have an absolutely phenomenal rest of your day, and phenomenal rest of your week, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye bye.